You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Zach Lesage here. Hopefully you've been keeping up with the late night series. If not, I got you with these top 8 deck lists. With Fusion Strike being legal, we're gonna be sharing a lot of cool new deck lists, so be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's jump into these decks that did awesome at my event. With over 250 players, I think we had 269 exact, this is the largest Fusion Strike tournament to date. So really hyped to be able to run this event for the community, first and foremost. And you can see a lot of top players were there playing for those spots. And we can see a few players that just fell out of the top 16. We got my Home Slice Cash with the unfortunate bubble at 17th place. But at the same time, we have other top players such as Vaughn, we have Senor Doom, and of course we have Celio's Network coming in 8th. Great players throughout the entire tournament. Those are just a handful that I'm looking at right now. We are going to be looking at Celio's Luke's list. So he was going ahead and playing the Sableye Weezing deck. It's hard to tell what this deck is on Limitless. I'll just kind of back through the page. You can see it shows as like a Galarian Weezing deck, but it's actually kind of like well, it's Sableye and Weezing depending on how you look at it. But regardless, this deck seems really cool. You're able to hit your opponent with the Galarian Weezing's ability, Neutralizing Gas. So as long as this Pokemon's in your active spot, your opponent's Pokemon in play have no abilities except for Neutralizing Gas. This is great to get around things such as Genesect V's ability. It's great to get around the new Inteleon VMAX's ability. It's great to get around Houndoom. It's great to get around all of the things such as Shady Dealings on those Drizziles and Inteleons. Like, it is a big deal to have this one out there. So we have ways to, like, that's the reason why Galarian Weezing might be better. I'll try to cover it on the channel. Sableye allows you, once you build up some damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, you can hit them with Crazy Claws. Crazy Claws allows you to do 10 plus 60 for each damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. You could quickly power that up with Raihan. That allows you, if one of your Pokemon was knocked out, you get a basic energy and search your deck for a Pokemon, so that allows you to accelerate in a turn. You also have the Energy Switch Galarian Weezing package, and there's the new Hoopa V. I'm assuming the Hoopa V is for its two-faced ability, so it's Psychic and Dark type. So if there was a Rapid Strike Inteleon deck, Rapid Strike Urshifu deck, get all those Rapid Strike Pokemon mixed up, Hoopa V seems like it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, lots of Pokemon are weak to Psychic or Dark. So overall, cool list. I think it's one of those things where this archetype might get more refined. I know that Joshua Sutherland has also been playing similar decks to this, so we'll have to see where the community really takes it, but I could see this deck finally getting a chance to shine. So we will move on to our number 7 spot, and our number 7 spot is Natagorn. Also, if I'm pronouncing anyone's names wrong, I'm sorry. I've only heard a lot of these names online, so it is what it is. We got a Sylveon deck. Nothing new here from Fusion Strike. So I'm not sure if the player either decided not to add anything new from Fusion Strike. Myself, I don't even know what I would add in here. Maybe you could add in an Inteleon with Quick Shooting, or not Inteleon with Quick Shooting, Inteleon with Double Gunner, the new Rapid Strike VMAX. That might be cool because it can attack with Rapid Strike energy. But beyond that, like, I don't necessarily see where this deck stands. I do like the Galarian Moltres version of this deck now that Mew VMAX is kind of undeniably our top deck in formats. You want to know what? This seems like a Sylveon VMAX deck that we just see in tournaments over and over again. So you want to know what? I have no complaints when it comes to this deck at all. It looks solid. I don't know if I like Ribbon Badge, actually. So it's one of those things where I'd probably cut Ribbon Badge. I don't know if it helps out at all because your opponent can always just go after other 3 prize card Pokemon. But obviously it worked for Natagorn, and they did make top 8, so congratulations to them. We will be jumping into our kind of first brand new archetype, Gengar VMAX. So we got Mint Mermaid, so placing top 8. Mint Mermaid's actually playing the same Gengar VMAX list down to a T, exactly what I won the late night series number 2 event with. So I won the first Fusion Strike legal event on the Play Limitless websites, and Gengar VMAX I think is really good. A lot of players are really taking the time out of their day on Twitter to say that Gengar VMAX is bad. Now, let me explain to you why I think this card is good. And if you hate the card, that's totally cool. If you think Single Strike Urshifu V is better, I think that's totally cool. I think this is a legitimate option instead or in addition with Single Strike Urshifu V. The reason why is because you take less energies than Single Strike Urshifu VMAX, so it does give you opportunities where you can get cheeky knockouts with Lurid Panic. You can use Gmax Swallow Up to do the same amount of damage. That's why this deck plays Vitality Bands, and just get knockouts on Pokemon for less energies. You also keep your energies in play, so if they can't respond back with a knockout, you keep more energies in play, which means your deck is more resourceful. If your deck is more resourceful, there's a higher chance that you could swing back-to-back knockouts. I don't want to be like I knocked this list out of the park, but I've been testing this deck a lot. You see a lot of the other videos. I've covered this deck on my channel as a early deck list profile. I covered this deck on the channel by doing live gameplay against this deck for 2 hours and playing this deck. And I've played it in tournament. It's one of those things where I don't want to be like a Gengar expert, but I do know a thing or two about this deck. The fact that your deck is all dark type now, even though that like the biggest argument about this deck is why would you add another dark type Pokemon if your deck is already dark? And I mean, I think the answer is Single Strike Urshifu V as a one-of does as much as a Single Strike Urshifu VMAX in most cases in terms of being fighting typed. Most time a Single Strike Urshifu V can run through a Jolteon deck, can do enough against an Eternatus deck. I mean, Gengar VMAX does help you out against Leafeon VMAX. There's a lot of reasons to play Gengar VMAX. That's where I'm at. I think there's a lot of reasons to play Gengar VMAX. Don't necessarily sleep on this card. Make an informed decision, maybe after watching some of my gameplay or things like that. We also have the grand finals of this event up on the channel, so check that out. Lots of cool things going on with this deck. Again, I don't know if there's too much that I'd change. The Vitality Bands could be cut, especially since Inteleon VMAX isn't seeing nearly as much play as I thought it would, but it is one of those things where it is up to you. So let's move back to our number 5. We have a Suicune Ice Rider deck. So again, no new cards added from Fusion Strike. Not sure if these are players who are still trying to acquire cards, if they legitimately think this is a strong play. Personally, I think Suicune Ludicolo is better because you can scale your damage better. But overall, I think Ice Rider is a strong choice and has ended up being the better choice by the end of the Evolving Skies metagame. Still unsure, and I think as the community tests it, I think we have some ways to go. I do like the Fan of Waves in this deck because that can get around the Fusion Strike energy and the Mew VMAX. That seems cute. Not sure how I like triple quick shooting Inteleon, and I'm not sure how much I like the 1/1 line of Ice Rider, but overall the list does look quite good, and I'd have no problem running this deck in a tournament myself. We have kind of the start of the Single Strike top 4. So we had 4 Single Strike decks make top 4. Single Strike Urshifu, Single Strike Urshifu, Gengar, Single Strike Urshifu. Basically, we're going to start off with Jorge R. Jorge playing Single Strike. I mean, a lot of players have kind of played around with this concept. Again, no new cards added in from Fusion Strike. The reason why players are playing this deck is because Mew VMAX is weak to Dark, so Umbreon VMAX quite often can take care of that. A lot of players going for more Umbreon VMAX. I actually like going with less right now. I might really change that. I've been playing a 2-2 line. The reason why I'm playing a 2-2 line, especially in a Gengar version, is because Fusion Strike energy does get what's it called? You can't use your Dark Signal ability, and this deck has no way to remove the special energies. So keep that in mind while you are playing this deck out. It is one of those things where it might not always work out the way that you want with Dark Signals or your abilities on your opponent's Pokemon. Single Strike Urshifu VMAX can pretty much beat up anything else. This list is going a little bit heavy on the fighting energies, whereas more lists are playing 9 energies, 4, 4, and 1, or 4, 4, and a darkness energy. Not sure how this really helped them out, but they made top 4 in this tournament, so it was overall a successful run for them. I think it's a solid list for sure. We are going to speed through these Single Strike lists. We have Johnny Rabis up next. So they went for a Piers build with even more Umbreon. I mean, I think Umbreon's strong when it comes to this metagame, again, because of Mew VMAX, and there's Dragapults, and there's Shadow Riders. Double Switch, I like. A lot of lists are cutting Switch entirely out of their deck. I think that's pretty bad in general, because then your opponent who plays Umbreon, look, we have two decks that almost look identical, Gengar and Single Strike Urshifu. Look can stop a deck in its tracks if they just play Single Strike Energy. If they just play Air Balloon instead of Switch. Overall, I mean, you could probably cut the Tool Jammer, you could probably play around with a few things. I think Single Strike, few lists are going, instead of Piers, they're going for the Gengar, or going for Great Ball, so keep that in mind. But overall, still a strong list. We do have the Ricardo Toddy placing second. Now, again, this is my exact same 60 that I played at the late night series event. So this is the same list that we saw Mint Mermaid play. Again, I think solid list for Gengar. I created it myself. In all honesty, I'm flattered that other players are playing my lists. I appreciate it and welcome it, because I do work tirelessly on these lists. And I think the only thing that's possibly cuttable is maybe Vitality bands. You could play around with some of the Pokemon line. Like I could see the Gengar switch to 2-2 and the Umbreon line switch to 3-2. Like, I'm really not opposed to things like that. I think that there's a lot of things that you could do with a deck like this. Maybe adding basic energy in this deck would be better. Things that we just got to figure out. So overall, I think this looks really good. But again, we're going to continuously grind all these new decks. So stay tuned for new content from me. We are going to be moving into our champion, Alec Geisler. So pretty strong player from the Midwest, winning it all. Going with a 4-2 line of Umbreon. So you can see a lot of players, the 3-2, the 4-2, the 2-2, 4-3, like all the different lines of Umbreons. Umbreon's important in all these decks. 3-1 line of Urshifu VMAX. Again, not sure if you need 3-1. I think 2-1 might be better when it comes to this deck. Still unsure about that. Not sure if the deck could ever play down double Crobats. So I like playing 1. In best of 1, 2 might be better. That is something to consider. I would have liked to see at least a 3rd Tower of Darkness. But again, I don't know if that necessarily matters. The list looks good. I'd like to add Switch in here. So, I mean, it's an interesting take on the build. Obviously, it worked in the finals. Again, you could watch the grand finals to see how it all unfolded. And there's also the Twitch VODs on the Atlas TCG Twitch channel. I do stream these events live every Monday, starting around 11 p.m.-ish Eastern. I say ish because we start around round 8 now. Round 8, round 9, round 10, top 16. So this is what we got going on for the lists. This is what we got going on for the top things. You could check the description below for the link to all of these, and then you can copy and paste these right to PTCGO. Well, that's what we got going on for this video today, peeps. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching all these decks. Lots of great new decks in here. Gengar maybe doing a little bit better than most people think. 2 out of the 8 spots were Gengar in the top 16. And it is one of the, or in the top 8, that is. I think there might have been 3 Gengars in the top 16. Feel free to call me out or ask me in the comments or let me know whatever is going on. We'll see how this archetype grows. I think that Mew VMAX is also another deck that's probably going to be shooting up next week, so prepare for that. I will be doing my top 5 video on the Shuffle Squad for decks heading into the weekend. I know there's a GT Tour coming up this weekend, all that great stuff, so stay tuned for more Pokemon content either here at the Zach Lesage channel or on the Shuffle Squad YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, I create content bi-weekly, or not bi-weekly, twice a week. Twice weekly I create it. We're doing a live tabletop gameplay on Thursdays, and I do the top 5 decks heading into the weekend. So stay tuned for all that great stuff and subscribe for other great content creators as well. Again, I'm gonna go edit this video, so I'll catch up with all y'all later. Have yourself a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Peace out. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.